Councilman, would you like to go ahead and talk about the 5% since we're waiting for my report?
Sure, we can.
Okay.
So I proposed a 5% cut earlier. It's on the agenda today for us to either approve it or not approve it. Basically be citywide minus the besides the police department, given that they've given up 2 positions already. And this would only be on the terms that that resolution that was proposed for the fire department be rescinded. So if it doesn't get rescinded, then I don't think it's fair that the fire department should have that pay change plus an additional 5%. So that vote will base a lot on the second vote. But yeah, so if we did that, it'd be roughly $300,000 to $340,000 we'd save for a year temporarily. And I'm open to any comments, or well, I don't know if it's gonna take comments right now. Maybe we have to wait for the meeting.
No, you can't take comments. This is a workshop, so.
Okay, yeah, so feel free to voice your opinion or ideas or concerns or critiques, whatever.
I do have a question about that.
So like, anybody come up, please come up here to the podium.
So, and I don't know if I'm looking at it right or not, but I just want to point out, just in case I'm not. So you have a spreadsheet here that says salary schedule past resolution.
No, that's gonna be the step up. That's gonna be, that's different.
Is that not your starting, your cap?
Well, that is that, but it doesn't have anything to do with the 5% that we're talking about right now.
Well, my question is, some of the employees that would be cut 5% to the rest is minimum.
Yes, and that's a good point. Yes. Yes, because this is the proposed.
I'll write it with my anchor. If that affected all, if that affected part-time and full-time, but we can get to that later, but we can come back
Thank you for that, Gayla, because that's a very good point. Calvin?
Hello, it's Calvin Hobbs, and I just want to give my opinion about cutting the 5%. I think our city workers are very important. I believe that they have some cuts in their, it's my understanding, their insurance. It's my understanding also that they're not even getting a longevity check this season, which we've done that for years. So, you know, they have to be another way to save money instead of hurting your employees. Because every one of them is important. They got families, they got bills to pay, and I'm sure there's some that makes higher dollar than the rest, but you know, they need your money. So I think just dig a little deeper and find that. That's what I think it.
I just want to bring, I mean, I know everyone works hard in all the departments, but there's a lot of people that do extra. We work a lot of extra hours and we don't get paid overtime for that. We're just there because we want to make sure the departments run. Not just manager, the employees do it too. Their own time, their time away from families, because they want to make sure that their departments are running good and the way taking care of the community. I just hope you kind of keep that in mind, that we give a lot extra that we're not paid for already, besides the paycheck, because a lot of us don't do the overtime.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Shirley Nichols. My mom works for the Community Center under Gayla. My question is specifically for this. With a 5% cut, considering it would be your own household, do you feel like you would struggle in a sense with that?
I mean, me personally, our household, no, because, I mean, I've been in financial straits before where I've had to work 2 jobs.
course.
you know, that was really tough, but, I mean, we got through it. You know, I've been there, where, you know, $50, that's a lot of money, you lose a lot of money. So I didn't take this decision lightly to suggest something like this. The reason I suggested it was because we have to cut,
Of course.
you know what I mean? So, whether that's other places in the budget, this, like we said last time, 68% of our budget is salaries. So to me, that made the most sense to make a small cut there temporarily, just because I've lived it, you know? I would never ask someone to do something I haven't done myself already. So being that I have been there and I have struggled, I just took that into consideration and decided to go with this.
Well, my mom has worked for the city for 14 years almost, and she makes nothing compared to others. And if, for whatever reason, that she would have to be alone, she would never be able to pay for herself. Especially with the 5% cut.
I understand.
Sorry.
You're good.
Is there
It needs to be real.
Is there a way that we can kind of put the, you know, the conversation will happen when we get to the agenda item. And I want to put this room at ease with you guys hearing that, there are a lot of people that want to see the city succeed, in every way that we can have it succeed. This is just, today it's a discussion item, and I think you have a lot of advocates for not going that direction. And for trying to possibly find different ways to make cuts in different, areas where it doesn't affect every employee going home to try to feed their families and to try to make it through these already rough times.
For sure.
So, is there a way that we can leave the discussion for when we get to the item agenda? I propose that we go ahead and have this budget session, and maybe it can give everybody some insight into what it is that we're really looking at, what numbers look like, and then know that, you know, after this presentation, we're gonna have a detailed discussion on what direction the city will go, but it's not gonna be a decision that's made without really looking at the impact that it's gonna make when everybody goes home and tries to feed their families. Yes, it is.
I do also want to bring to light, because she did say that it would affect your household, and no attack on anyone, because we have several council members that do have family that work for the city, that is a conflict of interest. We want to vote on that item with having family, you know, within the departments. So I would ask when we do get to that in the agenda, that we do because it is a conflict. Okay. Which buttons are up first? The one in the middle?
We'll go ahead, if they got an opinion now, go ahead and get it out, instead of, because when we talk about it, either way, we
Until
still
we're
get,
ready to vote.
yeah. So, does anybody else have anything that they would like to say, before, so if not, we can get into the budget, but, since it's,
Billy, I got some,
okay.
I've got an app here on my phone that tells me every property.
So I can hear you.
It tells me every property that the city owns. And some of them are vacant properties. Some of them are not vacant properties. And you've got buildings that you've got people in, but you don't necessarily need people in. And you're paying taxes on that every year. Taxes on them properties. Utilities on them properties. And I would suggest y'all deeply consider getting rid of them properties, getting out from them taxes, getting out from your utilities before you cut your employees. Because your employees is a morale. The other stuff is not a morale. You take money from your employees, morale may be low now, maybe even be lower again
That's right.
afterwards. So I would suggest that y'all consider all of the properties that are vacant, either pull them together, sell them to a developer, some individually, but sell them before the end of the year.
You said that was an
Well, it's
application you
really
had? That's an app you have on your phone?
Yeah.
What's that called? On X.
Councilman, I'll send you, and I can also send you the Portico, which is in Lee County. I'll send you.
You've got properties here in town that you have people that report to, that you don't necessarily have to.
Absolutely.
And you could even get fuel distributors set you up for fuel to save you money than having to buy it. But there, it's your bulk tank. We used to do it all the time. Whenever I was on the fire department, we had a bulk tank at City Barn. We filled up. We bought our fuel by the bulk. Or police officer that lives in Hodge. You know, and they fuel up in Hodge before they come in here and start their shift. For say 30 cents a gallon out there. It adds up. It's not just talking about the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Them cents add up to thousands of dollars a year.
That's right.
So please consider these things before you cut your report. Thank you.
I think it's,
The council, I do want to bring up that as far as property taxes are concerned, we are exempt from those. Yes, we are paying utilities and all of those things, but we are exempt from the other.
Hello, John O'Leary, Public Works Director. I know the city's in a tight spot, I understand that, but this 5% cut is gonna go on the backs of the workers. We're already so short-handed. As Mr. Hobbs is speaking, we get the longevity pay, I understand that. We get the COLA raise, we understand that. Okay, and then to get 5% cut now that turns that 3% into 8%. People are looking forward to that because they need it.
Yeah.
Cost of living is high, everything's going up. They're looking forward to that. You know, you come and spoke to me, you spoke to me about 6% cut thing. I said, absolutely not. We're already short-handed. There should already be money there. Okay, from the people that we already had that was working previously, which they had a long time. John here was, I don't know, 20 years, 20-some years, whatever it was. Okay, I hired 2 guys for what he was making. Well, real close. And now we're gonna cut their pay. And then there was another hand there, David or John or Tim. They were there. Where's that money? Okay, I had 2 more. We had 4 people on the water department. I got 2. We're scrambling. We're moving here and there. Hey, I need you over here. Okay, we're short here. Hey, we get a call. Hey, this is messed up over here. Well, we're busy doing this, trying to take care of this. So you're smashing our foot, then you're smashing another one. No appreciation. We're gonna cut your wages. No. Some of the decisions that council has made have not been a good decision. And you said, what are you talking about? Okay, we tried to sell booze at the golf course. How much money was thrown there? In my account, just roughly $30,000. We bought a brand new cooler, 8x8, beautiful thing. You want a beer? You want cold beer? You know where it's at? You know where it's at? You know where it's at?
I think it's sitting outside somewhere.
It's collecting dust in the church
It's
building.
piled up in pieces. If you try to sell that, it was $17,000 worth. If I remember right, in that neighborhood. And it's piled up. I doubt you could get somebody to give you $2,000 for it. We wasted money. That is not the water department's fault. That is not the sewer's fault. That is not the guys in the trash truck. That's not their fault. That's not Parks and Rec's fault. We did that here in council. Not all of you were here, okay? That didn't work. We wasted money. We need to really concentrate on what we're thinking and what we're doing. That's right.
Cholo, could I bring up another item? And I don't know what year it was, but the Oaks at Coyote Crossing behind the police department, that was replatted to be made a subdivision, and $100,000 was spent for that. And there are so many lines running through that property that no house is gonna be built on that. I do have contractors come in to look at, we can do anything, but there's a lot of high pressure lines on there, and the city spent $100,000 just for a replat on a piece of property we can't use.
Wow. How do you think the guys on the track truck feel? No, they're important.
Yeah, they are.
Let's go a week without trash being hauled.
We went 2 days without water. I mean, they were working to get it back on, but we had very low water pressure.
But these guys are out there literally risking their lives. I mean, you may not think so, but riding on the back of the truck right there, they are in danger every day. And we wanna say, well, we're gonna take some money away from you? No, absolutely not. It's not right. Yes, there's gotta be other ways. This gentleman had a good point as far as properties getting ready to sell, how do we need to do it? Make it up another way. Okay, we've got the water that's going to the ranch behind the golf course. That was brought up 4 years ago. I brought it up. I contacted him and got the contract that he has. Whatever, if that's what you wanna call it. We're still giving him water.
And I have the letter ready to go as soon as Tommy reviews it.
Yes, I spoke with you about that. I'm just presenting it,
Yes.
you know. We've
But years,
been in
yes.
communication on that.
Yes.
But I'm just presenting it to them.
Yes, sir.
I know there's so much other
It
stuff
is a
going
good
on.
one.
There's things that we can do and we have done wrong. And we need to not cut the wages.
Right.
It needs to be something. We're shorthanded all the way, okay, water department's supposed to have 4, I got 2. Street department's supposed to have 2, I got 1. Parks and Rec was supposed to have 4, I got 2.
So you
Sometimes
cut
I
your
have
budget by half on salary, more or less.
and more or less half. We're half, and the wages are all over because I got new guys. I am trying to build a team for the city of Eunice. I'm trying to get some guys and trying to convince them, you need to stay. I'm trying to convince them, look, I need you guys. We'll get through. I'm on 5%. Hey, I heard some say, you know, I don't know, I may not be able to be here.
And he has
I
a
say,
young
I understand.
team with a lot of potential that I could see going
I have
until
some guys that
retirement.
coming on that are learning. They could easily go to the oil field and get a pumping job for $30. Am I right? Is that some 35, 40?
Cholo, I'd like to add something to that, 'cause I thought that same thing. For Cholo and myself also, my employees are not high-paid employees. So when you pay somebody $30, $40 an hour, they'll stay for their pay. When your employees make $15 an hour, it's up to us to make them want to
To
stay.
make you want to
So
start.
I can only make my employees want to stay so much
Right.
until they can't pay the bills and they're like, I love working for you, but I gotta go.
You can only stretch a string so far. But these guys, I'm trying to look, if you'll stay, it'll be worth it after a while. But none of it. I can see their face, I can talk to them all day long, I can say, hey, yeah, but anyway, seriously consider and do not cut their salary, their pay.
Right.
They're already making less than the oil field. Okay, it used to be, the city used to be 20 years and then you can retire. Now it's 30. Does that encourage you? I'm gonna make $15 for 30 years and I'm gonna get to retire. Negative. When my brother over here, he works for so-and-so and he's getting $38, $40 an hour. I had a friend, his name's Jimmy. He went to wet contract pumping for Empire. They started him out at $42 an hour. He asked for 35, and they said, will you work for 42? He said, well, yeah.
Come out of retirement.
And so, do not cut their pay. Thank you.
I got one thing, because I asked if I could speak, because I don't know if I'll be able to speak when we get to do this. This whole idea on a 5% cut. In my mind, I simply look at that as you're asking the employees to cut a check back to the city at the end of the pay period for 5% of their wages. You might as well just get them to write you a check. How well is that gonna go over? I mean, they don't make the decisions. They're going to be paying because that's a mistake that was made. But you're asking them to cover that mistake. I can't see it. And if I don't have a vote, I can't sit here and be quiet. It's insane.
Well, now realistically, I knew this probably wouldn't pass the 5%, but I needed to get this conversation started to get people fired up and get people here. This is the most amount of people here I've seen. This is the most community involvement I've seen and concern. And without this, I've been to other meetings where the budget gets tabled or it gets pushed off or it keeps going. I don't know about you guys, but we need pressure. There needs to be something done, and something happened.
Yeah, but if you think it's not ever gonna pass, you put it out there and it passes, it's done.
That's not a very good way to get.
Well, I don't,
And just leave
It's just-
with
yeah,
nice that
it's a
you guys have
discussion.
had at home thinking about a pay cut, because I can only imagine what I would be sleeping like at night if I knew a pay cut was coming to my job. That's alone is a situation that we should not be in.
Yeah, that's not a good way to get people to come in. That's not a good way.
That was not a good statement.
Are you sure?
Not at all.
All I was gonna say is I commend Gus for bringing that up. It's a tough decision to have to bring something like that up. It's, nobody ever wants a cut. And I just want people to know that I do appreciate every one of y'all being here. Quite honestly, it's nice seeing all of y'all here.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think Charlo brought out some really good points. If we're spending money stupidly somewhere else, we need to stop it there. And one of the very first things I told Shannon when I got on the council was, before we go to pay, we need to cut all expenses, is where we need to start. And, but I understand why Gus did what he did, because it has to start the conversation of where are we gonna go, you know? And, you know, and now we know, we know, we've heard every one of you, and I think every one of us hears what every one of y'all that got up and to talk about, say. We truly do appreciate the amount of work that is being put into the city. And, you know, the last thing I know for me, what I would wanna do is cut anybody's pay. And so what we need is every one of y'all that works for the city to go out there and find out where we can cut, what we can cut, and it needs to be either brought to your department heads or brought to Shannon.
And that's why we're here.
Okay.
I'll say, I respect I respect Gus for bringing the topic up. But it really is hard on employees and employee. And I went through a sellout in 2008. I went through a buyout in 2008. Through that buyout, there wasn't one night that I laid my head on the pillow that I didn't worry my head off. And if we think if we actually think that it will not go through, there is no reason why we ever bring something up
That's
to
right.
make our employees stress out.
That's right. That's right.
No reason.
I
It's
agree.
unacceptable. That's what I got to say.
Doing the budget? I just wanna make sure, cause I mean, I didn't know if you wanted to. speak or not, so, okay. Go ahead.
I will, I'm going to.
Do I?
Yeah.
This year we based our revenues off 425,000 on GRTs.
Yeah, we'll just keep going. Oh, the GRT should have been next, sorry.
What's your?
Oh, but I thought I had those in line to go. That's all right.
I had something under it.
We can come to those. Let's go ahead and talk about that one. No, let's go to that one. We'll go ahead and talk to this and then talk on this one and then we'll go.
Okay, so we made adjustments this quarter. At the beginning of the year, we had made adjustments, we had an interim, we made adjustments. I didn't realize on the DFA website, you cannot make those changes. Whatever your interim was, that was it. So a lot of it, I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll have to do first quarter adjustments. So that's where we're at now. With the help of the department heads, they have been very, very diligent on their stuff, and between all the departments, we were able to decrease 746,314.
Did y'all hear that? Does she need to say it again? Yes, please.
Where's that number at? Is that number?
She has it written down because she did all of this after we were passing the PowerPoint back and forth. You don't have that final number on here, do you?
No, it's on that spreadsheet with, the year-to-date budget.
In the blue? Oh,
No, it was on that spreadsheet, so
Okay.
between all the departments,
okay.
Can you give us that number again?
We will get to it.
746,314.82. We did have a clawback, it was 1.3 million.
The auditors did make us show the entire clawback.
You gonna
We've
show?
only paid a small portion of the clawback. However, we had to show the whole clawback. So it is showing the million,
1.3 million.
the 1.3 million debt that we really don't have. We have
We haven't paid
the,
it all in full. It's in the-
right, we have paid the original, GRT that they clawed back, which was 200 and, what was that first one that we didn't get any of? It was,
We're like around 250.
oh, that one was 500 and something, and then we still owe the 850. They're taking the $12,000 a month towards that. So we're having to show what we haven't really paid. So we have a deficit that we really don't have.
Yeah, are we supposed to have that paid back by the end of the year?
No, we have 3 years.
That's what I
Are we
didn't
gonna have to
understand.
carry that 1.3 over, or is that number changed once we bring that number down?
That's what we've been haggling with the auditor about, because we're telling her it's hurting us, it's ugly. And what does she finally tell you? Are we gonna have to take the,
We just have to do the difference,
The
that's whatever we owe
balance.
next year.
yeah.
But she said it was just gonna be that one time, that we have it like as an expense, we have an expense line and then we have the full amount. I don't know why she just said we.
So if we owe 500,000 going into the new fiscal year, that's all we'll have to show.
Whatever our new debt is.
Excuse me. So as of right now, you do owe the 2 point whatever.
We owe to the state of New Mexico, they claw back, so we owe 1.3.
1.3.
But our balance is 850.
Okay.
And we've already paid 2 GRTs that we've paid? 3. So we've already paid 12, 24, 36,000 toward that debt.
Plus the 5,000 there too.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what that down to, that 850 was from 1.3 to that 850 is what. Yeah, that was taken straight from the state. They took it straight out of our GRTs, but it gave us. So like, she's talking about, the first one that they took out was pretty much wiped out.
We didn't get
All the
any.
GRTs, we didn't get none. So that was like 500 and something thousand. And then the second one.
They took
was
187,
200.
the
So,
second time.
Yeah, so, yeah.
And that was a whole nother clawback. So that was an additional 187,000 from a completely different clawback. However, that one's paid off. We don't owe anything on that.
Yeah.
Shannon,
Yes, sir.
on these clawbacks, the bad thing about these clawbacks, and I think they need to understand it, is that it could happen at any moment
Yes, sir.
because of where these companies are filing their GRTs at.
Yes, sir. A
So
lot
if
of
they
people-
file them wrong, the state will send us the money back, some money here, and then there's no repercussion to the state whatsoever.
No.
They don't even have to do the accounting right. So when they find out that the mistake, then they'll take the money back. So,
And there's absolutely no warning to it either. It happens and we find out whenever we receive $0 for that month for our GRTs.
That's how we found out.
Exactly. So it's
So it's
like,
never like,
The liaison assures me that he will
about,
warn me in advance now,
About
because
8,
I've been
9
learning,
years
but
ago.
I don't know.
2015 when I
whenever,
was
the state came in and there was about 2 million and they wanted it back and we had a lawsuit for about 1.5 years and we won it and so, they changed their ruling because they found out that pretty much, oh, wait a minute, we gave the states, too much leeway, so now then it's 18 months that they can go back on instead of the 6 months, and so, that's where they hurt the cities in a while because of the going back on to 18 months of pay. And it could add up real quick on a big account, you know, if you did a big job. So,
One thing I do wanna, like with our cutting on expenses, our Bank of America, we used to pay about 40,000 a month just on our credit card charges. We've been cutting that and we've been telling the supervisors to be more aware of what's being spent out of their department and who has a card or just about, just be more vigilant about that. In the past few months, we've been under 20,000. This month it was at 15,000. So that was like a significant decrease.
So from 60,000 to 15,000.
40, 30 to 40.
30, 40? Oh, I thought you said 60.
So it's been cut in half pretty much. Even our payroll has gone down significantly. This time last year, we were paying 120 for the bank. Whenever I do the ACH, just to do the direct deposit, we had to increase it to 125,000 every pay period. The past couple months, it's been under 100,000. Today's was 96, and that was with the holiday. There has been significant decreases, and the departments have been working hard to get this done and help us with the city.
And we haven't had to make transfers out of our savings either. To make
Well,
payments
since July.
Yeah.
Since July.
Yeah. So.
Shannon, these didn't show up on on that screen.
blink.
It's blank.
Okay, we'll resend it.
Okay.
Okay. That way you can pull it up and look at it big, but I'll
And
resend it.
it may pull up on the laptop, but it's not pulling up on the.
Okay, I'll resend it to each of you after the meeting.
This is how it shows up on VFAs on our reporting. The cash, it stays the same all year, and that's what's as of July 1st. Our investments, our savings, and then revenues, transfers, expenditures. The past few years, the cash has always been reported incorrectly to VFA. It's always what was in the bank account, but that's not how so the city's supposed to look at our money or our cash, because each department has their own cash. So that's how that's how VFA is supposed to be split up.
Every department is a fund of its own.
Yes. You just can't combine it all together and just say this is all general and that's it. And that's how it's been reported.
Here's the GRTs. Yeah, I thought they had it all, so, but I will get it to them. Ty, yours is coming up. Yours is too.
it was just that
the
one
writing in that
Just
slideshow,
the one.
and it was just the words in the
Yes.
boxes.
Oh,
It was
okay.
not, it wasn't the entire slide.
So we started the GRTs, just so y'all see the picture, since 23. So this is 23 and 24. Candy, you wanna go ahead and keep going?
Yes.
And then 24 and 25, and again. And then you can see where we took our hit with the clawback, and this is where we are right now. And, like Rocio said, we did set our GRTs that we needed for 25, and we obviously fell below that twice already this fiscal year. Both times were due to the clawback.
Shannon, I have something on House Bill 6.
Okay.
I know y'all were at the county commissioners
Yes, sir.
meeting on last Thursday, right? And they showed a slide that showed the GRTs from before, House Bill 6 went in place until now it went in place. The slide was very interesting because I thought we were all under the assumption that the money was going to the county. The money's not going to the county at all, it's going straight to the state.
It is, I found that out too.
So, I think it would be interesting, maybe we can get that slide
I'll reach
and
out.
share it with everybody, because when I seen it Thursday evening, I was like,
Yeah.
if the numbers are correct, then, we've been totally wrong thinking that the county is getting our money.
Yeah.
And it's not the county according to their slide. And I did send an email to the guy who made the slide. I haven't heard anything back because I wanted to see his numbers.
I'll reach out to the county manager and I'll see if he'll send me that, presentation, and I'll send it forward to council, okay?
When they were talking about it and everything, taking it from the cities, and you're building it out into the county, so they're building like the well site out wherever they go to work, and whatever county, so it has to be built in like Lee County, Chatham County, or whatever. And so, if they're not getting it, then, something, I don't know, like I say, yeah.
And we were led to believe that the
Yeah.
county was getting all of
Because
it.
that's what they said when
And
it came
according to
out.
that slide, they're not getting any of it, And so the guy's name, Shannon, if you want to talk to him, is, and I emailed him,
Okay,
is, Chip Lowe.
okay.
I have his contact information for you.
What's the last name?
Lowe?
Mayor, can we keep going so we can get through this, please? Go ahead, Candy. You can keep going. I mean, that's just House Bill, they can see what that's at. Okay, I wanted to bring this up to council. This happened, I don't know exact years between 2019 and 2022. Money was removed from the new fire station fund, and our new council members don't know this, that's why I'm bringing this back up. Our other council members do know. But $231,000 was taken from that fund and given to general, and then $322,000 was taken from the fire fund and given to the sewer. That all has to be paid back to that fire fund. But I just wanted to give you, let you see a picture of some of the things, that we've been dealing with over the years. There's $553,000 taken from their new fire station that they're nowhere near having the money, not even for design or anything, because it was put into other funds. I assume, I don't know, it was probably used to make salary, I don't know, or some other debt, that I don't know. But I wanted to bring this to y'all because I felt like it was important and not everyone knew this. Go ahead, Candy. We just did a 5-year, Candy, you go through those for the graph of the budget recaps of the year. 2020 to current. Do I keep on going? Yes, just go to the graph. And then, I just went in there with those numbers so you can see the cash over the years, the investments, the revenue, the expenses, and the adjusted balance through the years. You keep going, Candy.
On that graph, which one was the expenses?
Oh, go back. The expenses are in the blue. Candy. This is a comparison from 2022 to 2026 with our beginning cash in 22 and our beginning cash in 26. Our investments, we have had to pull out of our savings, so to make salaries and do that in the past. So like Rocio said, July was our last one because we had that clawback. So, you do see a decrease there in our investments. Our revenues in 2022, the revenues were $14,273. $14,273,903, sorry. And our actuals, what we actually had is below, is right there, the $12,358,000. That was the actual revenues that year. Our revenues were so overstated that, we didn't even have a grasp of what anything was. So this year, our revenues, we have them at 10 million, and we know we're gonna meet that, and we know we're gonna go over. And then our expenditures in 22 were the 13,398,000, and this year, the 12,894,000. So I just gave you a comparison of, so you could just see that in one big picture.
On the investments, what's the actual investments?
That's our savings and
It's for our general fund,
yes.
our
water,
sewer, and census.
our LGIP.
And what's the cash?
That is our cash on hand. That is
So
like
it's
what we
not
have
really
for-
investments, right?
not our cash.
No, the investments, are we investing that money into something where we can make money?
No.
Okay.
Yes, but we
But just
do
our
get-
savings, whatever we're getting.
But we do get,
Yeah.
it's a little bit.
Like you know.
Like 3,000 a month. We're just having our money.
So, just a question, would it make more sense to take the money out of the cash when we have to get a clawback? So we continue to make more money on the investments?
Well, the cash is by fund,
Yes.
so
Usually it's Janet passes out the cash allocation papers.
and you'll have one in your information documents this time too. I give you all that every time.
So that's how it's all divided.
It would make more sense if we can, but it just depends on where we have it as to whether we can move it or not.
Excuse me. So the bottom line, after all of our revenue and stuff, are we still $8.5 million in the hole?
We were never $8.5 million.
We were never $8.5 million in the hole?
No.
Okay. How much exactly are we in the hole? Does anybody know that?
What's the numbers? We had started at 1.1 million. But we were able to.
And that was just our revenues over our expenses.
Yes.
We had cash, we had,
You had savings,
right,
yeah,
Budget shortfall.
it was a budget shortfall.
gotcha.
Like there's some, like we receive a grant or something and maybe we won't receive it next year, but it's for a project this year. So we received that money last year, but this year it's not gonna show the revenue, so it's just the cash that we have on hand for that project.
But it's also showing in an expense, but we're not showing it in our revenue line. So we may have $1 million in our expenses that we're not showing in our revenue, but it's over here in our cash.
I got you. All right, thank you.
That made sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good.
So in case of an emergency, let's say our GRTs are in trouble and oil crashes and we have now a very huge financial situation. What will help us maintain? Is it gonna be our cash balance or is it gonna be the investments?
Investments. Because the cash is divided between all the funds. So they have to sustain themselves. One of my biggest worries is like the general fund, just making sure it's positive. So, like senior center, for example, like if she's short $10,000, for her month, the general will transfer to her department, and that's what the transfers are for. But the general fund should be self-sustaining. It should. And with the investments, that's what I have to pull from just to make sure that it's from your.
So, in Steve's theory, then it would be better that we continue to build our investments and use all of that cash money to
Yes.
make those payments and do that.
Since I have been more involved in the finance part, I have been putting more into investments. I haven't this past few months, but
Rocio's been very good about, putting the money, extra money into investments.
we were doing it monthly, and then we got to a point like where our DRTs weren't that great, so I had to hold off, and our expenses got to be too much where I just couldn't do it.
And she's the reason we have what we have is because she took that initiative several years ago and started putting it. Candy? These are the cuts by department. Admin, we did 112,851.26. PD, he doesn't know he did this much.
Close your eyes.
Rocio has all the numbers. She has,
I already checked Cassell.
she has all the numbers.
I'm like this really quick.
It's 290,692, library 11,376, youth 20,140. She's probably gonna have more, I don't wanna bring that to council yet, but, we will at a later time. Motor vehicle, they are at 2,700, they're increasing their fees. They're doing a great job. And they don't have a lot they can cut,
Right.
but they're cutting everything they can and doing what they can to make a difference.
I'm glad I already have my license for Steve's.
Yes, and she's like, we can charge fees here, here, and here, and that she just does it, and she's awesome. And they're all awesome. I mean, look at this, senior center, 39,000, fire, 419, judicial, 2,920. He doesn't have a lot to cut, but he did. You know, Parks and Rec, 20,000, water, 77, sewer, 28, almost 29. Solid waste, 144, streets, 8,700, and finance, 4,477. We're cutting art, so we won't have that expense. We do need to have a cleaning service and cleaning. We're figuring all that out in 2 buildings, one by contract. We have to take care of the courts, and Chief Garrett's asked for those services because of what they do and their needs. We're looking at our shredding. We have 3 staff members going for certification classes to be able to spray the pesticides. That's an expense that we'll be able to get rid of. And I think the mayor's gonna take it too. He signed up to take it. So, I mean, you know, there's a lot of things. I'm gonna, Richard will be talking in the next meeting about IT and some of the savings he's been looking at since he and I have been talking, and there's a huge cost saving there as well. So, it's just I don't wanna say it's a little of what we've been doing. It's a lot of what we've been doing.
Is that number the 746,000?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It is, all that's the
Yes.
746,000?
So on solid waste, it says increase, is that a mistake?
Oh,
No. Well, to help with the
sorry, I wasn't
water,
paying attention.
help with the water, like Shiloh, I put him out of sanitation, or like a percentage, just to help water. He's 25, sewer 25, solid waste and 50 water.
Yeah, I seen a lot of salaries are split up, like,
Yes.
I mean, county, you know, the city clerk and Shannon's, I mean, they're split like between 3 or 4 different departments, so I didn't, that's why I was wondering if, so that's really not an accurate number, it's a play on
everybody's short
money.
No, well, we increased the fees,
Mhm.
right, so we did increase, I don't know what, cause I did Shiloh and Imelda.
Solid waste.
I don't know why it's an increase from,
I don't know, you put that
I
number.
So could I also get a breakdown of what each department cut? Because that would be easy, right?
It's on that spreadsheet that Shannon had sent last week.
Oh, I've got like 10,000.
I'm not
so
sure
I
that
didn't know if
no,
I
I
got
didn't-
one that says which one it is.
I didn't send them the spreadsheets, but I will scan these and send these to y'all as well, so that you see what everyone did, okay?
I mean,
I have a spreadsheet where I do all these adjustments.
Oh, you mean that spreadsheet? Oh, it is on that spreadsheet. I'm sorry.
So it's one of the 5 million spreadsheets that you have.
However, you probably wanna see it as to what,
I mean,
They
you
did.
know, something that would be easily readable. I mean, cause I know I went to print one PDF and like the last 30 pages were lines of numbers.
cause you can see the difference on the one that we did send,
Yeah.
where they were and where they are at now on their
Right.
adjusted budget, so you can see it on that.
I seen that, I got that, I just didn't know if, I mean, like a breakdown, what did we do?
But if you would prefer to see it to where what they turned into me, I'm happy to see it.
I mean, cause like if it's positions, like the PD, I mean, he cut jobs. Water department, are we counting the jobs that he's not filling as cuts?
Right.
You know, cause to me, if we're not counting it, we should, because
Yes, sir.
he's not filling them. And, I mean, I look at water and 77,000, is that 2 positions or 3? I mean,
Those weren't positions, those were expenses,
So-
different expenses.
see, to me, he would, if he's not filling those, he's made more of a sacrifice than what this is showing. And I just, that's what I wanna see is, how deep did they really go? Because
However,
I
he
believe
had
they
already
went
made that
deep.
adjustment before the final budget, we had already done that, so that's why it's not on there.
Okay, yeah, because I think they, I mean, the people I've talked to have worked hard.
So the water and sewer numbers will actually be a lot higher if you add salaries.
Yes, sir,
Yeah.
and we can get you those numbers, we can add those on and, get you those, but like I said, they were in the original budget, and that's why they're not here, just so you see the actual difference between there and here.
I mean, because like fire, 419,000. Did that include,
Yes, sir,
so,
everything that's happened
yeah,
since.
it just seems inflated on some and not. And I mean, I love it, but
So if you look, to me, kind of what I'm talking about, the water, you've got 2 salaries you can put in there, streets, we have 1 designated, and then park and recreation, we have 1. Two.
It would be interesting.
So you have
to see
5
the numbers
people
with the salaries.
Yeah.
We'll take care of that for you,
So.
we'll get it to you.
Because the numbers actually.
Okay, lower down or?
It's not
because if we're not paying somebody, we're saving money every week. I mean, that's, to me, that's the way I look at it. If we're gonna hold it, and they're gonna sacrifice that time of doubling up and running faster, then they should get credit for it. And we should be able to recognize that, because it's something.
We're shorthanded.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying, you got 5 people.
Okay, Mayor, we're gonna keep going, Candy,
Oh, that's it?
that's all we have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
The council did ask last time, had we had, budget meetings, and this was our 3rd. We had one in April, one in July, or May, April or May, and then I went back and looked to double check that this was our 3rd budget.
Never come back to another one, that was all a mess. Nothing was
Do you
explained.
think it would be possible? And I really do appreciate all the emails that we've received, and looking at all the numbers and the way y'all do y'all's accounting is
Confusing?
not normal.
That's right.
You know, it's government accounting, right?
Would you
So
like to?
what would work for me, and it would probably work for everybody, is a total number of what we have and how much we owe and how we're gonna get there.
Okay.
And I think on that, because I believe it probably comes on Excel, right?
Yeah.
And so if it comes on Excel, you should be able to build a pivot table
Yes.
that has the front page, so we can have all those sheets of info along with it. But a front page that has all that info, easy to read.
One thing too is like, with government accounting, you just can't combine everything. You just can't, because everything's its own fund, you
It's
can't.
very confusing.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
But the system separates it, like I can't mix, LPF with the general.
But you know what, if we have to sit down and, Rocio and I need to go through the numbers and just create our own spreadsheet, we will do that. Just give us a few days. Rocio has training tomorrow, so she'll be out for that tomorrow. But, just give us a few days to work those numbers. We'll make our own spreadsheet to where council can see it and understand it.
I think it just makes it cleaner and
Right.
easier, because there's a lot of things that when I look at them spreadsheets, my eyes
Like
cross, and
what?
there's no way of, me ever figuring
Yes,
it
sir.
out. You know, that's why I sent you, 20 emails last week wanting to know, well, what's the numbers? You know what I mean? I'm just looking for the bottom line numbers. That's what.
Yes, sir.
Because to me, I can look at the bottom line numbers, and if it's something bad, then I can go back and try to find it, right? So,
Of course, I think in one of our conversations, so our budget shortfall, you have down to like 380,000 now or something like that. Is the way I understand it.
So yeah, before anybody left, I wanted to make sure that bottom line number right now of what is owed is.
Yep.
Rocio, did we run the bottom line number? Well, it's the.
And the reason being is because even though there's a lot of press and everything that's going out,
I agree.
there's still people sending in applications to work here.
We're not letting him leave until we look at his.
So I just want to make sure that, you know, everybody knows that Eunice is still open for business.
Yes.
I think the budget shortfall, remember, I had a conversation with you, was like $380,000.
Yeah.
Now, the other side of that is, you got budget.
Right.
You got budget shortfall, which is predicted.
It's not.
And then you got actual expenditure, which actual expenditures hardly ever meet the budget number.
And that's what I'm asking.
And that's the first part of this year, we had this budget number that was like this.
Correct.
And she rolled it back to this to make it more feasible, original, and make sense.
Inflated numbers.
You can give your household $100 million budget. Don't mean you're gonna meet it, but you can throw that number out. She's brought numbers more reasonable. Pending the budget, she's brought the shortfall down from the 1.1, 1.2 to 380,000. But we still got departments that ain't gonna meet their budget, so.
But with that being said, we're not in the hole. We have investments, we have cash on hand. We're not $8.5 million in debt. We're not in debt.
Budget shortfall is prediction on numbers.
It is the revenues versus the expenses. That is it.
So
Then you
you're
have
still
actual
open for business.
spending, which is the true number.
I have a question.
Right quick before they go, when you're talking about, the class and everything. Sam and George and Chalo, they're going to, and I'm gonna go, cause I like to check this out. November 4th and 5th, gonna go and try to learn how to kill weeds and, spray for mosquitoes. So, you know, that would be a big, asset off of the budget too, because we don't have to pay nobody, we can do it in-house. And so I'm glad for them, and the county is giving this class and everything pretty much for free. And so that's a nice bonus. We just gotta go to Lovington to attend it, but it's one day, all day, going over it, and the next day testing. So, yeah, I'm glad. Thank you for y'all going and everything, because it'd be good to have some people in here to be able to do that for the city without having to contract it out.
May I ask a quick question? I completely agreed with you, like, it's very hard to interpret what any of those charts were saying. I understand that it's going to be revised and sent out to the council. Is that something that the citizens will be able to access as well? Because I'm kind of
This gentleman right
curious.
here is gonna write a better story, but if you reach out to me by email, I'll take care of you. S. Cummins at cityofeunice.org.
All right, thank
Just
you,
tell
ma'am.
me what you want.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.